From the John DeVita Broadcast Center, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Paranormal Radio with Mr. Bob Trisek on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network and Jack-O-Lantern FM 89.7 WRHS FM Norwich. And now, here he is, Paranormal Radio and Mr. Bob Trisek.
Okay, I am on. I thought John was going to introduce me there. I was kind of waiting. Usually John comes on and says something, but welcome to Paranormal Radio. Nice October 20th. We are right in the middle of the Halloween season here. Things are going full tilt. If you've been out on the road looking at the trees and stuff, all of a sudden everything has come into autumn bloom, so to speak. The nice amber and the yellow colors and everything on the trees. Last week things were not so good. This week, I guess maybe with the rainy weather we had, that kind of triggered things off, and autumn is now looking pretty nice out there. The chilly autumn days also are great for the spook hunting, which we like to call it, and ghost hunting, that type of stuff. Our guest that we have with us tonight on Paranormal Radio will be Mr. Dan McGrail and Miss Amanda Wadsworth, and they are with a outfit called Twisted Intentions Productions, TIP or TIP, whichever you want to call it, and we'll be talking with them in just a moment. We'll let you know what they do and what they're all about and some of the interesting stories they've got going on here. I would just like to extend a thank you to Miss Colleen Carroll and Miss Tom Cameron with the Paranormal Conference that was held this weekend over at the Moraine Valley Community College. I was there for both days with that. They arranged for me to have a table there, very nice. They made lunch arrangements. Gosh, I couldn't have wanted nicer service or nicer people. Met a lot of real interesting people over there. So people in paranormal are kind of nice folks too. We're not all a bunch of strange weirdos, so to speak. There's some nice folks in paranormal, and we had a real good time over there, and it was really, really nice, enjoyable 2 days. Also, too, let's see where I'm going to be the next 2 weeks coming up to Halloween. I'm going to be all over the place. Tomorrow, nothing's going on for me, but coming up on this Wednesday, I will be over at the Elsip Library giving a talk there on Southside Supernatural hauntings, that kind of stuff. We're going to have a couple of games and things we're going to do there, and do some palm readings, some things with palm readings there and that for people. So it should be an enjoyable evening. We'll be there for a couple hours talking about that. Call up the Elsip Library. I'm not certain what their number is, but it's the Elsip Marionette Public Library. If you punch it up on your keyboard on your computer, you can get them. And I'll be over there this Wednesday. Thursday, I will be with my friends over at the Justice Library, and Justice is great. I love going to Justice. It's right in Resurrection Mary country there. It's right off Archer Road there, right just a stone's throw from Resurrection Cemetery, and I'll be there Thursday of this week doing my talk on Windy City ghosts. This one's going to be all city. The lecture I'm doing over at Elsip is going to be all the Southside stuff and all the stuff we've got out here in the burbs. The Thursday lecture will be all stuff downtown, all the city ghosts that we got down there, and believe me, we got many of them, as a lot of you know about that. And we're doing some palm readings over there, too. Over the weekend, I'll be with my friends at Twisted Intentions Productions. They run the Dark Summit Haunted House there, and I'll be sitting out there with them doing some palm readings and talking to the folks there and stuff like that. I've actually got it nice this year because I'm inside the building. They built a new building there, and I've got a little table, and I'm inside there. When I first started with them, I had a little cardboard sign and a stool. I was outside shivering and freezing and doing palm readings with a little headlight. So I'm actually kind of moving up little by little. We've been over there now 4 years, isn't it, with Twisted Intentions, Dan?
Yeah, this is our fourth year.
4 years over there. Okay, we'll be talking about all that in just a second there. So I'll be with them on this weekend, and then coming up next week on Monday. What am I doing next week? Monday. I know I got something on, but for life of me, I forget what that is. But I will be at the Oak Lawn Library on the 29th of next week, and there I'll be talking about New Orleans ghosts. New Orleans ghosts and haunts and all that goes on in New Orleans, which is fascinating. I love the city of New Orleans, and it's a great psychic city. And then on the 30th, I'll be with my friends over at, Monday is Bridgeview. That's what it is. I can't neglect my friends at Bridgeview because they did a little story on me in the newspaper last week. I will be Monday at the Bridgeview Library over on 79th. They're right across from the Kmart there, not too far down from that on 79th Street in Bridgeview. And I'll be doing the Windy City Ghosts over there also, too, just like I did doing at Justice this week. And then on the 30th, I'll be at the Orland Park Library. Orland Park, I'll be talking about ghosts in the White House. White House is probably one of the most haunted residences in the world, really, and there's a lot to tell about that. A lot of our ex-presidents, first ladies, some of the domestic staff, some people that like to hang around at the White House, and that, we'll be talking all about that and having a good time with them. Also at Orland Park, if you have to be, I wouldn't make a special trip out there because it's really not a really big exhibit, but it's nice and I'm very proud of it. I've got a display case right now of Egyptian artifacts. I do a whole presentation on the Egyptian Book of the Dead and Egyptology, and I have one of those, when you go into libraries and people have their little doodads, knickknacks, and glassware and things that they display. I've got all Egyptian stuff there. So if you're just out there, just stop in and take a look at that, and then that will be coming down at the end of this month. And then next month, for the month of November, I'll be setting up a phonograph exhibit because I collect antique phonographs and recordings. And so we'll be exhibiting that for the month of November over there. Saturday of this week, too, I almost forgot to mention Saturday. I will be with the South Central Stickney Park District and doing a Titanic presentation, talking on haunts of the Titanic and the psychic connection to the Titanic disaster. So next week is kind of busy for us paranormal people. This is just our hot time of year. Happy ghost hunting to everyone, and welcome to Paranormal Radio. What we're going to do tonight is talk with the folks from Twisted Intentions Productions with the Dark Summit Haunts, and then we'll talk just a teeny bit about Resurrection Mary. I won't talk too much on that, and we'll play the song. There's a song that's kind of become a cult classic. It's called The Ballad of Resurrection Mary, and it's just a little thing I like to do every year for my Halloween show. I like to play that song. It kind of was there, and it kind of vanished, and then it's kind of resurfacing again now. It's just part of the lore and the legend of Resurrection Mary, so we like to keep that going. Okay, I'm going to introduce my guests, Mr. Dan McGrail.
Hello.
And Dan has done radio with me before. I used to do a show over at Argo High School with WARG Radio, so Dan and the Twisted Intentions team have been with me before on there. And we have a new comer to radio tonight also, too, Miss Amanda Wadsworth.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful, thank you. Welcome both of you to Paranormal Radio.
Thanks for having us.
No, wonderful, thank you for being here, yeah. Okay, so how's the year going with Dark Summit this year?
That's going along pretty good. I wish the weather would cooperate a little bit more.
We've had, especially when they did the carnival, was it last week or the week before they did
First
the
weekend.
carnival? Yeah, they did that, and they had kind of
weekend.
crummy weather for that, but, what are you going to do? Weather is just the one thing you can't control. But I think kind of with these haunted houses and with this, we'll explain what you do and everything. You will explain it. That gives me a break from talking. And you could probably do it better than I can. With these haunted houses and things, I think it actually, the kind of gloomy weather and overcast and kind of cool weather, I think it adds a little more to it. It's a little more atmospheric anyway.
Yeah, it does for the customers, but,
Okay, Dan, Amanda, if you want to split it between the two of us, tell us what you do. Tell us about Dark Summit. Tell us about Twisted Intentions Productions. Go ahead.
Well, Twisted Intentions Productions is a company that my friend John and I formed. He got a call from the Summit Park District one day, and they was like, hey, we're thinking about doing a haunted house, and we'd like to, get some input from you because we know that you've worked haunted houses for a long time, and we've worked Statesville and, a whole bunch of others.
Now, and before we go any further with this, something I didn't clarify, and that's a little bit my fault. I want to say, when we say haunted houses, we're not talking about an actual really haunted house that has paranormal activity in it. These are the haunted houses that pop up at all the park districts.
Haunted attractions.
Yes, the haunted attractions, right. Yeah, and the Dark Summit one that you folks do is one of the better ones, and for the price-wise, it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, before we go any further, too, I just want to mention you mentioned John Schenkel.
Yes.
And we like to extend our condolences and sympathies to John, because just last week, was it, John's dad passed away suddenly?
It was early last week. He had a heart attack, and he passed.
Died suddenly. So our deepest sympathies and condolences to Mr. John Schenkel and his family. That's why John normally would be with us, because we like to have John on with us, but he's got things to take care of, and he's got stuff going on, so that's why he couldn't be with us tonight on the radio. But he sent his team here, and they're just as good. And anyway, there again, our condolences to Mr. John Schenkel. Okay, now about Twisted Intentions and Dark Summit.
Yes, so like I was saying, John got approached by the park, who was the Summit Park District, because they were looking to open up a new haunted house, because they've kind of put one on themselves, but it was very much for little kids, and they wanted to do something bigger. So they got a hold of John because one of the park board members knows him from work, and he's like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Could you come up and help us get a little idea rolling? He's like, yeah, okay, I can get an idea rolling for you guys. And then it went from conceptualizing the idea to, can you help us train the people, to like, hey, how about you just, come and do this? And then he's like, all right, I got to get a few people together for this. So he gave me a call, gave Amanda a call, a couple other people a call, and we formed our team. and our TIP team has actually been together for 5 years. Even though the haunt's only been running for 4 years, we told the park that the year that they wanted us to do, we already committed to another haunt. At that time was Statesville Haunted Prison. Which,
Oh, you were with Statesville originally.
yeah,
Oh,
which
okay.
actually is, despite popular belief, it's not actually at the prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's called Statesville, but it's not at Statesville Prison, right?
right.
Yeah.
It's close to it. It's, the actual prison's like just a couple miles away, but it's not actually hosted at the prison with real inmates. But they do a good job of playing off the name. They're a fun bunch of people too.
Yeah.
So the team got put together, and we spent the year designing the haunt, coming up with floor plans, how we wanted to have our theme put together, and we settled on a dark carnival in the traditional sense of back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. There used to be carnivals that would travel around from town to town, much like the old circuses do, and some circuses still do. But they were a very macabre theme. They had
Freak shows and
freak
side shows and that
yeah,
type of thing. Yeah.
the traditional geeks, freaks, and
Now today people are a little more sophisticated. Freak shows are little by little. So many people now are against freak shows in carnivals and state fairs and that type of stuff. And at one time,
Right.
those were big attractions to it. But everything being politically correct now and that. But the only ones that seem to like it are the people that are, well, we'll call them the freaks for lack of a better word. They're really not freaks. They're normal people just like you and I. But some of them just have some deformities and some special things that they do. They're the ones that like it because this is how they make their living.
Yeah.
So they still like them.
A lot of us have special skills that we like to showcase. That
Now,
fit
Amanda,
right
how do you come into the picture? You're new to the team this year. I don't remember you from.
No, she's not new to the
No,
team
you're not
this year.
new
No,
to the team.
I've,
Oh, okay.
I've actually been with the team from the start.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, when I see people without their makeup, I don't know them because, like, when I'm over there by you guys, I see everybody with clown makeup on and all these demented characters and all this stuff. So then when I see them without makeup, I don't really recognize them. But yeah. So now, how did you come to get involved with these characters here, with this demented circus and Dark Summit and all this wonderful?
5 years ago, John gave me a call and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to be running a haunted house."
5 years ago, if I know John, he was probably calling you because he wanted to take you out someplace. So yeah.
Yeah, probably. But he actually called me up and he was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Summit wants me to run a haunted house at the Park District." And I've known John for years and I've known Dan for years as well. So I'm like, yeah, I'd love to.
Good.
At the time, I was working at another haunted house. So I wanted to, he presented the offer and I ran with it because I realized that I loved haunting.
Yeah. Now, what exactly is your function with Dark Summit besides being one of the characters in the house? I know you dress up and you're in there, but you do makeup and well, you guys all kind of do everything over there. Everybody's kind of multi-talented.
Yeah, we do.
And you are actually, that's why we have you on the radio tonight, because you are actually their publicity person, their public relations person.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
Mhm.
Yes, I am. I do publicity and I also do makeup. I am also a character. So I have.
Does your character have a name?
Yeah.
They all, I know you guys
Yes.
all have these
Yes,
names
actually,
and characters.
her character is one of our headlining characters called Mistress Tala.
Oh, you're a headliner. The voodoo princess
the
or
voodoo
priestess.
queen. The
Yeah.
voodoo
Yes.
queen.
Now, when
And
I saw you yesterday, you were not the voodoo priestess, were you?
Yes, I was.
You were. Oh, I don't know. I thought.
she changes the makeup around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She does.
Yeah.
She likes to keep it fresh.
I do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I Dan always invites me to take a walk through the house every year to go through. This year I avoided doing it because this year I'm kind of walking funny since I had a leg injury this year. I had a bad leg injury. As everybody knows, we talked about that on the last show. Because last September, I should say, this September 8th was the first show I've done pretty much all year because I've been out of commission and now that I started driving it. But I don't want to walk through the house because I'm afraid I might trip and fall on something with the cane in there. So that's why I stay out of it. But I've been there before, and your house is good. You can scare me. And I've seen the real deal stuff. So if you can scare me, you're pretty good. Yeah, you guys do a good job. For the price, you can't beat it. Now, we were mentioning Statesville and everything, and not to slam anybody or anything, but Statesville's a little pricey for theirs. Your charge is
Ours is $10 a head.
$10, and I tell you, for the $10, it's well worth it. For $10, you get a nice entertainment. You're in there for a while and that. They put on a real good show, and you won't be sorry. I was actually doing a little PR for you guys, too, over the weekend, too, because I took a whole bunch of your cards at the Paranormal Conference, and people were taking them left and right.
Thank you very
So
much.
we were
Thank
giving
you.
them out, so hopefully we drum up some extra business with you with that. I don't think you guys aren't having any trouble with business, or you've been doing pretty well this year. I know that.
Yeah, it's we're doing pretty good with the customer flow. Like I said, it's just, I wish the weather would play a little bit nicer, because we've had a lot of high wind days. And remember that special skills comment that I said is
well, this weekend is supposed to be very nice. In case you've been listening to this morning about 6 o'clock, I listened to WGN, and it's supposed to actually be getting progressively nicer this week.
Yeah,
so
but
weekend we're
that's
supposed to have
5
some
days away in
70s.
Chicago weather.
Yeah, but that's when you're there.
5 days,
You're there the Friday.
5 days
That changes.
Well,
whatever
they say it's gonna be the complete opposite.
That's the
tomorrow.
expression now. You know the expression about Chicago weather. If you don't like the weather, stick around long enough and it'll change.
Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the Chicago weather. Yeah, but we're supposed to get nice, and the weekend's supposed to be in the 70s. So you should have a good turnout for the weekend. Plus, it is getting close to Halloween also too. So
yes.
This is actually coming up the last weekend before Halloween, because Halloween will be next Friday.
Yep.
But you're actually extending your hours a little bit for that too, right?
Yeah, our Halloween week is actually going to start on All Hallows Eve, that Thursday, and we're going to go all the way through to Sunday.
Okay, so you're going to be there the 30th. You'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I will not, because I'll be at Orland Park talking my ears off, or talking what am I trying to say? Just talking. I'll be talking over at the Orland Park Library, so I won't be there Thursday, but I'll be with you guys Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be out there doing palm readings for folks. And so the 1st and 2nd. So the 30th, 31st, 1st of November, and 2nd of November.
Yep.
Good. So if you can't get them before Halloween, get them after Halloween. They'll be there on the weekend after, too. So,
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
The character, Mr. Stalo, like I was saying, is that the voodoo fit into our whole overall theme because of the Dark Carnival. We put a little bit of a voodoo twist into the theme to make it a little bit more of a flair. So Mr. Stalo is the voodoo queen. She's got her little zombie horde, because voodooism is,
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much stuff about Dark Summit and about your haunted house and what you guys do. But if you go in there, you'll find some neat. They do some special stuff too. They do a few special things there too. And if you're a little squirmish, make sure you buy a glow stick. Right?
Yes.
Get the glow stick for $1.
Yes,
buy the glow stick.
Go
ahead, tell us about the glow stick.
Bring a small child and buy a glow stick.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us why they need to buy the glow stick.
The glow sticks are actually, this is a little something that we came up with because we've been doing haunting for years. John's been doing it for 24 years. I've been at 21 years.
John has been doing haunts for 24 years?
Both of us
Did he start when he was 5 years old? Or what?
Both of us started when we were single digit in the age.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. That's
I started a little later. I've been doing it for 8 years.
8 years of doing this, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
so something you enjoy, something you stick with, and
it gets in your blood. And
Yeah.
Yes.
You just
Can't
stick with
leave.
it. But because we're very conscious of not wanting to damage a customer base, because something that's seasonal like a haunted house, you have all these people that show up like in the big groups, and there's always 1 to 2 people who are like, they freak out before they even get to the door, and it's because they went in as a little kid and they get traumatized. So one of the solutions that we came up with to help prevent this and to help generate goodwill among the haunt community is that we have a standard in place for if a little kid comes in with a glow stick, the monsters and the characters have been trained that the glow stick is a ward against them, so the child has some power over their fear.
Okay.
So when the child gets empowered that, hey, I don't have to be afraid, I can exert my own will, and
and kids having the imaginations they have, they go right along with this, and yep, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we actually had our youngest customer go through. I'm sorry, I'm slamming on the table.
Something went off and went on there for a second.
that was me put my hand on the table and heavy-handed. Sorry, but we had our youngest customer yet. She was 3.5 years old. She made it through by herself, and she was all smiles.
One thing I will say as testimony to you guys, too, for doing a good job at what you do is you do get a lot of repeat people. You get people that come the second, the third time during the season, and then you also get repeats from the season before. Like from last year, you got people that come back again this year because they like Dark Summit.
Yeah, we actually had...
Give us now. We talked all about Dark Summit. Give us the phone, give us the location and everything where they can find you. You're not the easiest place to find. I know where you're at because I live right there in Summit.
The Summit Park District, it's kind of funny because it's a little bit tricky to get down to it.
Yeah, explain some of that to us where they can find you.
Well, the address is 5700 South Archer Avenue, right off of 1st Avenue and 55. The trick is that the park has a valley that it sits in. So there's a light called Bulldog Avenue. There's a Mack truck dealership or repair center with Frito-Lay on one side, and the other side with all the trees is the actual park district itself. But you have to go down the hill, and then there's a fork in the road. So you have to take the left fork to go to the park, because if you take the right-hand fork, you end up in the industrial side.
What happens if you take the spoon?
If you take the spoon, you went backwards.
Ah, okay.
You're over at
another
the
another
Catholic
good
school.
another good mark. Another good. You know, you got the fork, the spoon, and the knife. So I don't want to tell you what happens with the knife.
Well, that's why the police department's right there.
Yeah, yeah. I was just
Very
going to say. I was going
true.
to say another mark that you should look for if you're going down Archer Road to find Dark Summit is the Summit Police Station, because the park borders. It's right next to the police station. So if you found the police station, you found Summit Park, you found Dark Summit.
Yeah, if
They're
you
right there.
if you stood in the police department's parking lot, you could throw a baseball and hit the haunted house.
Yeah, they're that close to it. So so you're protected there too. So you don't have to worry about safety issues or anything like that too. You have the police close by there. So
Yeah.
they don't protect yous. I mean, but they protect the patrons. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
I'm
they-
not kidding.
There's a little mutual protection there. We've also made them kind of look at us, from afar, like, what the heck was that about? We
Yeah.
actually, when we were doing our warm-ups and training this year, one of our newer actresses is so loud and was so convincing. We had patrons of the park, people at the playground, actually come up to the haunt. This is in broad daylight. Pounding on the exterior door, going, "Is everyone all right in there? Is something going on?" And all she was doing, she was getting into her character. She was practicing up, and it's just she has a solid set of lungs on her, man. She is.
Maybe
one
she'll
of
have
the
maybe she has a
screamers.
career of opera in her future or something. As a singer or something. Yeah,
Possibly.
we don't know. Now you're kind of young, Amanda. You're still in school.
No, I'm
You're not in school? No, you got a very young look to you. I would have said you're still in school.
I'm a
No,
little older.
well, you could still be in school. You could be 70 and still be in school. But
No, I actually I finished up school a few years ago.
so now this is what you do on the side. Is there a full-time thing that you do? A job?
I am a security officer.
Oh, okay. You're a security officer. Okay, and then this is your fun thing that you do.
Yes.
You're
this
your
is-
little
This is the time that I can truly be myself.
Gotcha.
Hobby
okay.
job.
Yeah, yeah. The hobby job. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a nice name for it. A hobby
Yes.
job. It's nice to do something that you enjoy. It's like a labor of love type thing. And that, yeah.
It most
Well, it's not really a
certainly is that.
labor because
It's not real labor because you love it so much.
exactly.
This is getting too sugary and too sweet for me. No,
I was gonna say, not much labor. Yeah, you're on the PR team. You've got it easy. I do the build. When I actually put more hours in at the build site this year than my normal job in a
Yeah.
week.
I believe it. See, that's the thing too. And, this is something people don't realize. This is a lot of fun, and this and that and the other. And what you see, when you go in there and everybody has a good time with this and everything, there is a tremendous amount of work that goes into this thing. It's all, like anything else. It's like Christmas. It's all the preparation that leads up to it, and then it's over in 10 minutes. This is a lot of work ahead of time too. It's a lot of planning. Every year you change things around a little bit. You come up with a new way of doing things, and then also too, the house has to be built. Because now you're in one of the park pavilions, which is actually an open pavilion. So
Yeah, it's
an
an
open
open-air
pavilion,
building.
it's just like a roof, and it's got the pillars on it, so it's open. They actually close this thing off, build the rooms in it, do all that, and
Yeah, we run electrical wire, we run our fire systems, and I mean, the entire house we have a total of at most 3.5 weeks to get it assembled and ready to be inspected, to be certified for operation.
now who certifies you? Does Summit send someone over to do that? Who
The
certifies
state.
and inspects? Oh, the state does.
The state does.
Oh, okay.
Every,
now that's
every haunted house has to be inspected by the Illinois
and
Department of
certified.
Labor.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do they do a run through? Do they have all the characters and everything and do a run
No,
through with you?
it
or
is
no?
for functional
Just for the
purposes.
structure itself to make sure it's safe and nothing's defective.
Electrical,
Okay.
Your fire systems that have to be
That
in
would
place.
make sense because if you did have an accidental fire, God forbid, or something, and it's dark inside this thing and everything, that could be kind of catastrophic.
Yeah,
so,
you have to have
yeah.
you have to have your emergency plan printed out for them,
Okay.
so that they can look over it and tell you what you need to change if you need.
Makes
to change
100%
anything.
sense. So see, now you can feel pretty confident when you go not only in Dark Summit but any of these haunted houses that they are safe places. Another thing we want to say a little bit too about safety is about touching. You do not touch people.
The
No.
entire state of Illinois is actually a no-touch state for haunted
Mm-hmm.
houses. It's just a big no-no. There's, always the rumor of this haunt, they touch you. It's knowing that they touch you. It's like, no. There's Illinois, the entire haunt communities, it's just not what's done. and it is for safety reasons. It's for safety of the actors. It's for safety of the customers, and it solves a lot of headaches. Plus, if you go to a state that has touch haunts, like
some states do have that?
Some states do.
Ooh.
Ohio has haunts that
I don't
are
think I would
allowed to
like
touch.
that. I really don't think I'd want people coming up and grabbing me and touching me. And
Well,
it was very different.
It
yeah,
is,
I don't think I'd want that. Yeah.
Haunted Hoochie. We went to that.
Haunted
Haunted
Hoochie.
Hoochie was the name of the
Dear
haunted
Lord,
house
I can just imagine
that we went to.
what goes on in Haunted
for
Hoochie.
A Midwest Haunters convention. It's
Uh-huh.
a convention specifically for the haunt community. And they had a special pass that, you buy this on this day and you get to go through this one haunted house that opened up specifically for the convention. And they were a full touch haunt. And, honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to touch somebody, you have to do it to accent the scare. The touch itself shouldn't be the scary thing. It should just be what sets it off.
I suppose it's where they touch it too. Now, are there restrictions as to what they can touch and what they
Well,
can't?
you think
I mean,
that
I don't
there
want to
would
get. I don't want to
be.
get too specific on this, so we don't get censored. John's there, ready to press the buttons on us and censor us.
But your worst nightmares are in fact what happened there. They
Really?
were,
My
they were
Lord.
very
So I'm guessing
pervasive.
this is not something for
Yeah.
children to want to go through. This is
No.
definitely an adult geared only thing.
It is an
There's got to be an age
adult-geared only
restriction on this
thing.
thing then too.
I don't know if they had an age restriction on there. They probably did, but I didn't notice it. This was also 2 years ago, so I've sustained a couple other extra head injuries since then.
Dark Summit, though, this is not the case. We just have to make it clear.
Yeah,
We're not
no.
talking about Dark Summit now. This is another haunt that they're talking about in Ohio. Dark Summit is geared towards everybody, so you can bring everybody over. Don't leave the kids out. The kids can come too, and
Yeah.
if Grandma feels like going in there, she can go in there.
Oh yeah, we'd had plenty of grandmas that go through.
It is a good show. It's not like a little, some of them are just like the little kiddie things with the kind of cutesy with the pumpkins and scarecrows and that kind of stuff. This isn't that. It is a good haunt, but nonetheless, it is a safe thing, and it is something that anybody could go through and feel pretty safe and confident.
Yeah, that was the thing about the glow sticks. Like if you want it mellowed down, bring a kid, buy a glow stick. You'll see the mellow show. Then when you're feeling brave, have the kid stay home with the babysitter and come with no glow stick, and then you'll see the full show.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh no.
No?
She's just shaking her head in
I was going
agreement.
to say she's agreeing.
Yeah.
It's radio, man. They can't pick
Okay.
up the clicking.
I'm going to shift gears for just a second here off of Dark Summit. We'll get back to you in just a moment here. This newspaper article, who gave me this article, John? Somebody from where was it?
From Ridgewood.
From the Ridgewood High School? Someone from Ridgewood High School gave this newspaper article to Mr. John DeVita, who's our director here for Paranormal Radio and all the other shows at Windy City and the Windy City Network. And they gave this article and said, use this for the radio show. And the radio show, I guess, would be Us Paranormal. And it's about the Graceland Cemetery. And I won't read this whole article. It's kind of interesting. It's about Daniel Burnham, who designed Chicago's lakefront and the housing and everything there and where they're buried. And it's in Graceland Cemetery. And it actually has a little island that he's buried on. And also, too, this talks, the only part I do want to read, because I found this interesting, it's something I myself did not know. It says the remains of Frank Lloyd Wright, who we all know Frank Lloyd Wright was, the prairie architecture and the homes and all the homes in Oak Park and all that wonderful stuff. Frank Lloyd Wright died, I'm just going to read this here. Frank Lloyd Wright, who died in 1959 and was buried among family members in a small churchyard in Taliesin Complex at Spring Green, Wisconsin. Spring Green, Wisconsin, if you don't know where that's at, it's about 50 miles away from Wisconsin Dells, and that's where that House of the Rock is. When you go up to the Dells area, you always see those signs, visit the House on the Rock, visit the House on the Rock. I have too. After many years of going to the Dells, I finally went to see the House on the Rock because all these signs got the best of me, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that place.
Yeah.
That was a fun house for me.
Anyway, that's Spring Green. That's where he was buried originally. Infamously, the arrangement did not last, so he didn't stay there long. Wright's third wife, I didn't know he was married 3 times. His third wife was named Ogilvinia. Now, how do you like that for a name, Ogilvinia? What would they call her short? Ogle? For short, Ogle or Ogle? I don't know what they would call her. Probably just call her Olga or Ogle. Yeah, just Ogilvinia. She stipulated in her will that after her death, Wright's remains were to be disinterred. How do you like this?
Wow.
Disinterred, cremated, moved to Arizona, and mixed with her ashes, because I guess she was cremated too. Unbeknownst to the local Wisconsin authorities, her wishes were carried out and Wright's remains were dug up, so he is not there anymore. Dug up literally in the dead of night. They took him out for whatever reason. They took it in the dead of night. I don't know why they did this in secrecy, and shipped him to Arizona. And to this day, that's where there are many hard feelings about this, because I guess they wanted him being a native son of the Midwest, and that they wanted him here in Wisconsin. But he's over in Arizona. Anyway, what's left of him, his ashes are over there. So I just thought that was a little interesting. And thank you. I don't know who this was that gave us this article, but thank you very much for giving us that. And If you run into him, John, tell him thank you. And it was very nice of him to do. I used to do newspaper articles on the show for a while. I was doing articles. I would cut things out and bring different things in that would be paranormal related, that would be in the paper and that. And then I stopped doing it because there were just so many of them. It was taking too much of the show time. I do want to just talk for a teeny bit. Oh, we're going to take a break. Oh, well, I was going to do the resurrection rate. You want to do the break first?
Yeah, do the break first.
Okay, we're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit about Resurrection Mary, and we'll play you the Ballad of Resurrection Mary. We'll be right back, folks.
The
break is real fast.
I guess the freak is...
You are listening to Paranormal Radio with Bob Tresek from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on Jack-O-Lantern FM 89.7 WRHS FM Norwich and the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network on Tuesday, October the 21st, the year 2014. And this is Jack-O-Lantern FM 89.7 WRHS FM Norwich, Illinois. And now, back to Paranormal Radio with Bob Tresek. Bring him up. Bring up.
Is it on now? Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, we're back on there. A little technical difficulty here. I think it was something to do with Jack-O-Lantern FM. You kind of put the jinx on it. Is that the new thing, or is that just our Halloween thing? We're Jack-O-Lantern FM for the Halloween season.
Always around this time of the year, they come up with Jack-O-Lantern for Halloween time, and then in a few weeks we go to Jack Frost for
Christmas.
For Christmas,
Festive.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of other Jacks, but I can't say them on the air, so we'll
Please,
keep those Jacks
please
quiet.
don't. Divine
No.
Savior is not down the street.
We'll keep those quiet. Just in case you're kind of wondering what that's all about, that's our affiliate station. We're Paranormal Radio, and they broadcast some of the other shows too, don't they? Broadcast your other stuff too, John? At Jack FM?
Pardon? Say that again.
Jack FM. They broadcast your other shows too, not only Paranormal
Oh,
Radio.
no, they broadcast all my shows.
They do all your shows there.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
Jack FM 89.7 WRHS, and that's in Norwich. That's the Ridgewood High School. So we're also over there too.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
your program will be on 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on radio.
There you go.
On FM 89.7.
So beyond there, you can listen to us. We go up on the Windy City Network, www.windycityhometown.com. You can get us on there. And then Mr. John Shikanda, who, what does John do? John is the producer of our show. John puts us up on YouTube too, so you can get us anytime there. Punch up Paranormal Radio and my name, Bob Trazek, Bob, T-R-Z-E-C-I-A-K, and it comes up. If you just punch up Paranormal Radio, there's like 10 million Paranormal Radio shows on there and stuff, so a lot of stuff comes up. Just before the break, and then we'll get back to the Mr. Dan McGrail and Amanda Wadsworth with the Dark Summit Haunts and Twisted Intentions Productions. I was mentioning just a little bit about Resurrection Mary. Just in case you do not know the story, I don't know how you could live in our area here and not know it, live in the Chicago area. Resurrection Mary is probably our most famous haunt. She's kind of one of the haunts that puts us on the map. She's not one of the best. There are a lot more haunts that I feel a lot better than her. Now we're talking about actual hauntings now, actual paranormal. But Resurrection Mary is very beloved. People, I think, that don't even believe in this and blow off the paranormal and blow off ghost hunting is a lot of nonsensical fiction, actually do want to believe in Resurrection Mary just because she's so well known and so beloved. The basic story with her, we're talking the late 1930s. There's a couple of stories of it. I'll give you one version of it because then I want to give our guests some more airtime. The one version of it is Mary liked to, it was late 1930s, 1920s. Mary liked to dance. She liked to go dancing, and at that time down Archer Road by the Resurrection Cemetery was what they called the O'Henry Ballroom. It still is there, but is now the Willowbrook Ballroom. So it's still there. The building is still there, although not the original building. That was torn down. The new one was built. But nonetheless, it is still the same location. She liked to listen to the dance music, go dancing there with boyfriends and stuff. So one night, supposedly this was late August, she was picked up, taken there on a date by the boy, and she got stood up. He met somebody else, left. She had no way to get back home, so she wound up hitchhiking, and in the process of hitchhiking was hit by a car, killed, and is interred in Resurrection Cemetery. And her ghost has been known to be seen along Archer Road. There's many different versions of the story. There's also, might be a couple of different Resurrection Marys. There may be two, there may be more than one. For all we know, I've talked to a lot of what I feel are pretty credible eyewitnesses on the story from age 12 to age 87. And Everybody that I talked to, I believe, some I don't think actually had the Mary experience. They experienced something, but I don't actually think it was a Resurrection Mary thing. But nonetheless, I kind of believed everybody. Myself personally, as much as I've been up and down Archer Road there at all hours of the day and night, and living in Summit, not too far from it, I passed that way quite frequently. I never had a Mary encounter. I wish I could. I've encountered things at other places and that, but not a Resurrection Mary. So anyway, the basic story with her is her ghost is always seen along Archer Road. For a long time, the story was single men would stop, pick her up, ask her where she wanted to go. When they would come to the gates of Resurrection Cemetery, she would say, "Stop here." She darts off, goes into the cemetery, and vanishes and dematerializes. Some of the other versions are her spirits walking across Archer Road, and she's hit by a car, as what she did in life. Which, if you know paranormal and you listen to our show and stuff, you know we talk about this, and this is what ghosts do. They're rewalking and reliving what they did in life. They're following their path, repeating it over and over. So, walking along Archer Road, getting hit by the car again, reenacting what happened to you in life. That's our thing. Well, anyway, Resurrection Mary has caught the public's imagination. The last known sighting of Resurrection Mary that I know that was revealed to me was about 3 years ago. I don't know if anyone has any information on that, of anything being more current than that, but that's the last one that I know of. The person asked me not to give their name or give who they were, but they related the story to me, and I do believe, yeah, they did have a Mary encounter. Resurrection Mary supposedly has not been seen now for some time by people, and there's a few theories on this because the area along Archer Road and along the cemetery has been very built up. There's a big whole new housing development there. It's well lighted, a lot more well lighted. I know, like when I was a kid, it used to be very, very dark and very isolated going down there at night. And also, too, you've got the mausoleum there, which is lit up at night, too. The mausoleum's another thing in itself, too. The mausoleum has some stuff going on in it at Resurrection Cemetery. They have some problems with the electrical that we know are paranormally related because they can't find anything wrong with the electric system in the mausoleum. And so the Mary's ghost has maybe kind of gone dormant for a while. This happens frequently in paranormal where a ghost may not be seen for some time, and then all of a sudden conditions are right, things in the atmosphere change, whatever. She starts showing up again. So the last one that I know, and anyway, Mary, like I said, has caught the public's imagination. She's a very beloved ghost. This time of year, if you're watching anything on the on ghosts and ghost hunting and paranormal on TV and all this, I'm sure at some point or another, even in the newspapers, you can pick up one of the local papers, they do all these stories, you will see something about Resurrection Mary because she's just so well known. She's also inspired a couple of movies and a song, and we will play the song for you. The song is called The Ballad of Resurrection Mary. And for many, many years, this song was a standard on the jukebox at Chet's Melody Lounge, which is right directly across the street, almost from the main gates of Resurrection Cemetery. Their copy wore out, and then I managed to get them a CD copy from Richard Crowe, who was probably one of our most famous ghost hunters in the Chicago area. And we'll play that song for you now so you can hear that, The Ballad of Resurrection Mary.
I met her at a dance. I remember she was very cold, so strangely beautiful. I swept her up to carry her home. Resurrection Mary, wander from your cemetery. Down by a speeding car. On her way to a ball, she was buried with her dancing shoes on. Resurrection sing, brother, you better think twice. Resurrection Mary, wander from your cemetery. Is it on a tree? Nocturnal relations. 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 Nocturnal relation.
Are we back on, John? Oh, okay, we're on here again. Okay, yeah, that's the song, "The Ballad of Resurrection Mary." Certainly not a Grammy winner. I don't know if you give it a 9 or a 10 and you like it because you can dance to it, but nonetheless, something, part of the Mary lore. Again, like I said, there've been a few films about her. Songs have been written about her. This song, like I said, was on the jukebox over at Chet's Melody Lounge for many years, and then finally it just wore out. But we made sure they got another copy because it's like a tradition. And Chet's, I talked to Rich Brzezinski over there. The Brzezinski family has owned Chet's for many, many years, and we managed to get him a copy. He says, you got to put it back on there because people expect you to have it. And they also still put their Bloody Mary, their drink on the bar, their Mary drink for Mary in case she decides to walk into the bar. So that will be it for Resurrection Mary, and we are going to get back to the nice folks with Dark Summit.
I kind of want to get a copy of that now and play that during the haunt.
I'll get you one. Oh, you want to play it in the haunt?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a copy. You guys have a CD player over there, right?
Yeah, I got my laptop running our sound system.
Okay, I got a copy. As a matter of fact, I may have one with you tonight. Ask me that again before we leave. I think I might have one with you here. If not, I will bring it for you on the weekend.
Okay.
This is my good copy here. This copy, Richard Crowe, God rest his soul. Richard Crowe, as everyone knows, passed away just a couple of years ago. The godfather of paranormal in our area. I talked to Rich, and I says, Rich, I know he had like 45, old 45 RPM, recordings of it. And I says, Rich, we got to get a copy of that because they need it over at Chet's Melody Lounge. No problem, Bob. I'll get it for you. He contacted the two guys that actually wrote it. They were Oak Lawn boys. They lived in Oak Lawn. I think now they reside out in California. And he got a hold of them, and we got another copy of it. And that it's up on YouTube, too. It's in a few places, and people do like to hear it because, like I said, it's just part of the Mary lore, the Resurrection Mary lore, and the Predator mystique that keeps her going. I did one of the presentations at a library, and there were a couple of kids that came to the presentation, to the lecture, and they were talking about Resurrection Mary. So I was kind of happy about that, to see that the story is carrying on. Newer generations now are exploring that and doing that, and maybe we get some new people interested in paranormal. That's what happened to me. It was one of the first stories I heard was Resurrection Mary that got me started with paranormal. Okay, that's enough of Resurrection Mary, and that's enough of the real paranormal. Let's talk about Dark Summit.
Paranormal.
Yeah, well, no, it's the fake, the fun paranormal.
The fun.
I think part of the attraction with this is people do want to be scared.
Fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Very real.
We
Yeah,
do
it's
very
real.
much like realism with our
Yes.
haunted attraction.
And you are live actors.
We
Yes.
are all live actors.
So it is
We
a
don't-
live performance.
Yeah, we do not use animatronics, and we have very, very few masks. Almost everybody is in makeup.
Yeah.
This I can testify. The makeup there is something to behold. A couple of times now, this was maybe 2 years ago or so. They did a film there. We did a film, and I was a zombie in the film, which I've never seen. Like we talked about this before, I've never seen a copy of this film because it just isn't around for whatever reason. And I remember them doing the makeup. I got there like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and this thing went on till like 11 o'clock at night. It's very tiring. So it's a lot of work making a film and doing this kind of stuff. There's a lot involved in this. It's fun, but it's also a lot of work. But the makeup is just tremendous. They spray you with this latex. That sits for a half an hour. You got to go sit and dry. Then you come back, and then they tear it, so your flesh is tearing on your face and all this. Then they spray it with the blood. They spray it with something else. They have all their special effects makeup. I want to give all your secrets away that they do this. And then when I finally got to look at myself in the mirror, I scared myself. And I drove home in the car like that, too, because, of course, there at Dark Summit, there's nowhere really... Well, now you guys got the bathroom there, and that you can wash. You could take the makeup up. But at that time, there wasn't.
Right.
So I drove home, and I'm thinking to myself, driving home with this makeup on, like, how many people I must have scared going to and from the haunted house to my house, with this makeup on and that.
That's actually that's a fun little mini tradition for all of our kids to actually, when the night's done, everybody gets a nice kick of leaving the makeup on and going home. I know quite a few people that you're like, I'll take it off when I get home. They get in their cars, they drive off. We find out that they didn't go home till 7 hours after they left the haunt. They were out partying in
running around
makeup.
scaring
It's
everybody.
it's only October 3rd.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It is. Now, do you still need people that would like to? Now, you take volunteers. People can come and
Yes, we
volunteer.
are volunteers. For the high school kids that need community service hours, they are more than welcome to come and log their hours with us because we are partnered with the Summit Park District. So it does count. Because
Okay, so they get credit for community service from
right,
us too.
because
So this,
it's working with the park.
so there you go. So you can come and volunteer. And I know you recruit a lot of the high school kids and stuff like that to come out and help and do that and everything.
And we teach them certain skills along the way. For those who like to work with tools in their hands, we teach them rudimentary, building skills for like haunt purposes specifically. The way we have our wall system set up, how we secure them, how we create the walls, because it's all modular. Every single wall we can take down, move, reposition it within a matter of minutes. They all interlock together. They all self-reinforce each other so that it's one solid structure because, like you said before, we're in an open-air pavilion. There's only one true wall. Everything else is,
Everything else has to be
technically
built.
freestanding upon itself. Then for the highly artistic or the moderately artistic or the people who are just curiously artistic, if they want to get into how to do the theatrical makeup, John actually has been doing makeup classes for anybody who wants to do them during the course of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
We have actually we expanded our makeup capabilities by purchasing additional airbrushes and an extra. We have like 2 compressors now, whereas before we only had one small one. Now we've got a larger one and then an even larger one. So we've upgraded that. Yeah. We have multiple airbrushes. We have multiple airbrush types. He runs through and trains everybody how to take the the airbrushes apart and clean them, maintain them properly. So
there's a
that
lot
they
to
work
this. So
right.
you're actually learning a good skill, something
Exactly.
you can use
Oh,
in
yes.
other things, in other training, later down the line.
One of our first who is no longer a kid, he's been with us all 4 years, Mike Maloney, he's actually gotten he's got his own portfolio developing now for theatrical makeup.
Wonderful.
And he's going to be going to school for it.
And Mike was an Argo student,
He was in Argo High
yeah.
School.
Yeah, now he graduated, so he's no longer doing it with you.
No, he's still doing
He's
it
still
with
doing
us.
it? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't see Mike out
he
there.
still comes.
I remember last year he was on this little scooter out in front, scooting around there and kind of warming up the crowd.
Yeah, the scooter.
Yeah, I haven't seen him this year. But like I say, some of them I recognize, but then everybody changes their makeup and stuff, so I don't know who I'm talking to when I go over there. And plus, it's pretty dark over there too. I'm going to switch this over. I want to talk to Amanda a little bit since she's your your PR person here. Can you hear? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah. No, was something wrong with it or something that you're pointing to the headset?
Yeah, this.
One went out on you.
Yeah.
Mine did that too. Don't worry. As long as you can hear, we're still okay. Yeah, one of my ears went out too. It's kind of like when you go swimming and you get that water in your ear and you're like, dun, 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 knocking it out of your.
I don't think that'll help in this case.
No, it won't. That would do it. All it will do if you pound your ear with this on, all it's going to do is this. That's it. That's what you're going to get. So, you are the public relations person. So, just in case you, I'm guessing, being the PR person, this recruiting and doing this and leaving the number on and getting people, this is a big part of your responsibility.
Yes, it is.
So now, if someone is interested, now you still looking for volunteers for this year? People that would like to volunteer?
We're always looking for
if
people
someone
to
is
help
interested,
out.
how can they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at you can get a hold of me at Amanda W at twistedintentionsproductions.com.
Okay.
On Facebook, you can also send me a message. My name is Dahlia Onyx there.
Okay, you spell that out for us and give us that, so we can...
It's Dahila. Onyx is Onyx.
Oh, Onyx, okay. Just
Play
like
off of Black Dahlia.
Yes.
Onyx. Okay, all right. So that, and then your...
I actually didn't think about that when I made the name, though.
And the TIP website they can get you and that, so if they're interested, they can come out, and there's still a couple of weeks to do this. So
Yes.
Yeah.
You could also like us at Dark Summit Haunt, Haunted House or Haunt?
Dark Summit Haunt.
Dark Summit Haunt on Facebook, and also Dark Summit I'm sorry, Twisted Intentions on Facebook as well.
When we say Twisted Intentions Productions, I mean, we might be confusing people with this, and that may be my fault for not clarifying this earlier. Should have done this at the beginning. Twisted Intentions Productions, that's the company.
Right.
Dark
Yes.
Summit Haunts, that's the specific haunt, the house that is in Summit Park District.
Yes,
That's Dark Summit.
Twisted Intentions Productions is the production company that runs and produces the haunt Dark Summit.
Right. Now, you do other things besides just the Dark Summit Haunt, right?
Yes.
Okay, what else do you do, Amanda? Dan keeps trying to get in there, but I'm kind of like avoiding him. I want to get you talking a little
Can't
bit
get
here.
rid of me.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get rid of you. I just want to give Amanda a little more airtime here, so she hears herself a little more in the hour. Yeah.
Okay, what was your question?
I forgot myself now. What did I say?
What else do we do?
Yeah,
aside from
that
Dark
was
Summit?
it. What else do you do besides Dark Summit? I guess we got to go back to Dan. Dan knows you're the PR person. I'm trying to do this
Yes.
here. You know, yeah.
Sorry.
It's been a rough week for us all.
It has. It's been
It's a
very
lot of work.
stressful.
It's very tiring. Yeah, you guys put a lot of hours into this.
Things that are. I'll talk about the things that are coming up in the immediate future, where
okay.
we have a parade coming up this Saturday.
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. Okay.
For the congressman. There's also a Halloween festival that the park is putting on the 29th that we're going to try and open up a little bit of extra time for them. Do a kind of like a lights on and a toned down version for the little kids that want to come through that the parents are kind of, I don't know if I want to.
The congressman thing that you're talking about, that's the Congressman Lipinski, and what
Yes.
they're actually doing is they're moving, this is like some kind of a fall, like a Halloween parade type thing, and for whatever reason, I guess because there's road construction going on or whatever where they normally do it, they're moving it over to us in Summit, down 63rd Street and that's how you guys got included with it being with Dark Summit, so you're going to be open extra hours for that.
That's correct.
That will be some hours during the day and everything for the parade, and you're going to be there at night during your regular hours.
Yep.
For all the people that come out for the haunt. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
so that's going to
fun.
be a long day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys getting like a break in between sessions here?
Oh
Like-
yes,
Yeah.
yes. We're only going to be open for an hour and a half.
Oh my lord! It takes you an hour and a half to get ready for this with all the makeup and the preparation and everything ahead
The
of time.
good thing about this is that we're going to get ready for the first hour and a half, and then we're going to have a nice long leisurely lunch, and we don't have to worry about getting the makeup for at night.
That's one thing too. I will
Yes,
say
that
this:
is
if you are planning on volunteering for this, they do have a good time. And then after it's all over with and everything, they all bring food for them down there. They have pizza, they have food and everything. Everybody socializes, everybody talks, and so it's a nice thing. It's a very good thing. It's a nice social thing too. You meet a lot of nice people.
It's a very good family-oriented environment and family feel. So that's also good as well.
And you get people, like you said, you get people that come back and do this year after year. They enjoy doing it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
they
can't
enjoy-
get rid of them.
Yeah. And, do you get many people that come up and say, "Hey, what do I have to do? I'd like to do this." When they're in there, when they go through the haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
plenty
yeah.
of people.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got like a quarter of the people who act with us. They were customers and went through, and they enjoyed it so much. It's like, how do you get to
Yeah.
do this when they get out? It's like, do you really want to do this? And they're like, yeah. It's like, we have a contract right here for volunteers.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I did it, like I said, I did it the time when you guys did the film. That was fun. And then last year, one day, John just came out and said, "Bob, I'm shorthanded tonight a little bit. Would you like to be a zombie?" "Sure, I'll be a zombie." So again, they did the makeup for me, put me in there. But I have to admit, the kids were much better actors at it than I was. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just in there waving my arms around a lot and stuff like that. The kids are really good at it. The people that you have in there are trained for it, and that they really know what to do. I did not. But it was just a whole
Yeah.
heck of a lot of fun. Plus, I was in one of those strobe light room things, so nobody could really see me, what was going on with me. So
I actually feel that being a zombie is harder than being any other type of character, because you have to rely on your body movement
See,
and
now I
not
make it-
speaking or
Yeah.
using clear language. It's
See,
very difficult to do that.
yeah, for me it would be hard not to talk. 'Cause I'm a talker. Yeah, I'm a talker. But the thing I'd be good at now is the movement, because with the legs you did, I'm kind of shuffling along now as it is, so I got the zombie shuffle down good.
Oh,
Now, you
that's
guys,
good.
the other day I was over there, I came a little earlier, and you guys were all out in the back doing the Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yes.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Now that's that's a tribute thing you're doing, right?
That-
or should we not be talking about
No,
this?
we can
or-
talk about
okay.
it. We
All right, I
can
wasn't
talk
sure if
about
this was a surprise or a secret or something.
No.
Okay.
The Michael Jackson Thriller dance was in tribute to John's father.
Uh-huh.
Because every year that we've been open, his dad has been like, John, you got to get your whole house to go out and do the Thriller dance once, man. He's like, no, Dad, that's too goofy for us. We're actually trying to keep it semi-serious, and it's just when everything went down, John, kind of had a breaking point. He's like, we got to do this now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we one of our longtime actors. He was with us for the very first year. He's like family to us now. His name's Colby. He actually did a shortened, choreographed version of Thriller for a different production called Stomp My Feet or something like that. It's a dance troupe that he does.
Okay.
So he took the time and taught 3/4 of our house how to do the version that he came up with in time to do it. Like, they had 5 hours to learn it.
Yeah.
That was it. And because he was able to simplify the steps and he's able to train people how to do it
I was going to say, it's always nice
properly.
when you have somebody that knows what they're doing, that can kind of direct people and tell them what to do in it. We will have to wrap up here. The 8 o'clock hour is rolling around,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Mr. John DeVitt is starting to doze off. So I know it's near. so I know it's near ending time for us here. Mr. Dan McGrail and Miss Amanda Wadsworth, thank you both so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us, Bob.
Thanks
you.
for the wonderful stuff that you're doing with TIP, with Twisted Intentions Productions. Keep up the good work over there. Give us the lowdown on that, the hours of operation, when you're going to be there, the cost, how people can find you and everything. We want people to come out for the next 2 weeks. Go ahead.
The address is 5700 South Archer Avenue in Summit, Illinois, 60501. The hours are Friday and Saturday are 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday and Thursday for Halloween week is 6 to 10.
6 to 10 for Halloween week. You're going to be there.
6 to 10 on every Sunday and Thursday on Halloween week.
So Halloween every Sunday. There's only one Sunday in the week.
Yeah, every Sunday, but there's 5 Sundays this year. There are 5 Sundays in a
5
month.
Sundays for October.
Every
get you.
weekend.
Now I
there.
get you. I was kind of confused there myself
Yeah.
for a second. I had to think about it just for a second there.
And
I'm
it's-
bad with numbers.
It's $10 a person. We also have a first responders and military discount where it's a buy one get one.
$10 per person. Do you realize how reasonable this is?
That was
I mean,
the whole purpose of us doing this.
next to the cost that people pay, and I mean now for the entertainment, for the value that they're getting at Dark Summit, for what you guys are giving them for $10, it's well worth it. If I was there, I'd be selling for at least 15 or 20. To be honest with you, you guys really put on a good show for the $10. You're getting your money's worth, and it's a good time, really. Now, at any given time, how many people are down there entertaining in the house?
Wow.
Did you ever do a head count?
We do
It's
a
a
head
lot.
count every night to make sure we have enough dinner for everyone, because we do feed our actors at the end of every night as part of the thank you for coming down and volunteering their time. The most we've ever had at one point in time, actor count wise, was 72 people.
72 people. Wow. So this is a pretty nice production that you got there. That's what I say. Come on down to Dark Summit there, Twisted Intentions Productions. You're getting your money's worth for the $10. You're really getting a good show there. Also, come and see me. I do palm readings over there too. Right where you buy your tickets there. I'll sit there and do palm readings. Okay, we are going to wrap. It's running a little past the hour here. Dan, thank you so much again for coming on. Amanda, very nice. Your first time on the show. We've had Dan with us a couple times. It's the
Yes.
first time we've had you on here.
Yes.
You're both welcome back to come on anytime you want, anytime at all.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Okay, and that is going to be it for us for our Halloween show for October, for the month. I do these shows once a month, Paranormal Radio. We'll be on again in November. I'm not certain of the date we'll be on. It'll be a Monday night. We usually come on at 7 o'clock, and then, of course, you can get us, like I said, on YouTube, www.windycityhometown.com, on the Windy City Network, and also watch all the other, you can sit and look at your radio, but you can listen to all the other shows with Windy City, Meet the Chicago Historians, The Dawn of Sports, Chicago Junction, all the other great shows in the entertainment they got on the Windy City Network. We'll be on in November again, and I don't know what we're going to do for that, so maybe we'll talk turkey. We'll have something about haunted turkeys or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out for November, a November theme show. Thank you so much for listening, folks. These shows are always a joy to do, and bye-bye. Have a wonderful Halloween season.
Happy Halloween.
You have been listening to Paranormal Radio with Bob Trisek from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network and Jack-O-Lantern FM 89.7 WRHS FM Norwich. Paranormal Radio was directed by John DeVita. Audio engineer is James Rohde. The executive producer of Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network is Mr. John Chiconda, and radio station manager is Kevin Zeflik. This broadcast was pre-recorded on Monday, October the 20th. Thanks for listening and be safe.